Welcome Rockstars to more crazy crap. Today's gonna be super exciting because we're gonna finish off the Iron Man set. We currently have up to Mark 11. We're gonna be building all the way to Mark 20, including the stealth suit. It's gonna be a lot of work, so let's get into it. Well, Rockstars, after Batman last time, I kind of just want to get Iron Man out of the way. And we did learn our lesson between Batman and Iron Man previously, how to collect all the resources before we actually started crafting 15 different superhero suits all at the same time. So this is chest number 1. I think I overdid it a little bit on repulsors, the shell armor, and the black iron, but everything else is basically up to count. Oh, and I might have overdone it on invisibility potions because, like, I need 6 suits that need it, and then you also have to use 6 suits to make 6 other suits. That's why we have 4 or 5 different Mark 11s, a Mark 7, and a Mark 10. I had to craft all of those again because all of these are going to be needed to craft the other suits and some more shell armors. I just needed to get as much of this done as we could because there was no reason to make 4 separate episodes of Iron Man when we only have a couple episodes of Crazy Craft left. I'm trying to finish off the superheroes so we can go get Queen Scale or the Royal Guardian armor. Then at that point, it's just taking on the 2 bosses. So our first suit we're gonna have to make is the Mark 12. Overall, probably the easiest suit we'll have to make throughout the entirety of this. But first, before we do anything else, I do need to take some vibranium. And Mr. Stanley, I have something I have to purchase from you. A future suit is going to need, I believe it's Mark 20 actually, maybe 17, needs the Tesseract. So let's go ahead and purchase that bad boy. So what do we need for specifically the Mark 12? We need a set of the shell armor, Stark Tech, white stained glass, and iron plates. Now, since we opened JEI, we have access to the crafting recipe, as well as we don't have to craft the suits in the Stark bench or the Bat computer or anything like that. That's one of the reasons they're not in JEI, because they can't access the other crafting grids. White stained glass, Stark Tech electronics, the Iron Man shell, and then iron plating. That should be, yep, the Mark 12 helmet. I don't know why it wasn't auto-filling it in, and it continues not to do that. That's gonna be a bit of an annoyance, isn't it? The advantage of the JEI is the autofill, something we're just gonna have to deal with, but that will give us the Mark 12. Now, in reality, I don't know what each of these suits do, so we might go over a brief read over what they do, but there's no way we can cover all 10 to 12 suits. And in reality, outside of the stealth ones having specific stealth abilities, they're probably just going to be stronger lasers, basically. There's our Mark 12 pants. If we find anything interesting when reading up after we finish crafting all the suits, we can test the fun ones, and we'll do that way, so we don't have to test every single suit when they're going to be very similar. And that way, so if they have a special ability, we can focus on that for that suit instead of focusing on 6 suits with 6 chest beams that do slightly more damage than the other, and that's it. But that is one suit done, the Mark 12. So now we can move on to the Mark 13. So what do we need for the Mark 13? I don't think anything super special. Iron Man silver, black iron, more white stained glass, black iron blocks, a vibranium core. Yeah, nothing too fancy. Good thing we've collected everything. Yeah, it's still refusing to auto-fill in the crafting recipe, which is actually quite annoying. It slows us down a bunch considering how many suits we have to make, but overall, it's still just really nice that we actually have the crafting recipe in the game instead of me having to have it on a second monitor that is on a website that tends to be very crashy and laggy. The Superheroes Unlimited website is pretty outdated considering this version of the mod's outdated, and I don't know if this is the mod that's even in newer Crazy Crafts. So this is the Mark 13. I believe this is the start. The 13 is the start to developing the stealth tech, which eventually will be the last suit we make, but some of these do have some stealth capabilities. That's why there's invisibility posts. Yeah, but the difficult thing with Iron Man and the crafting recipes, outside of them just having a lot of separate types of materials that you literally can't EMC. Most of these guys I had to recollect because I didn't have enough of. It's the fact that you have to make certain suits out of other suits, which makes it extremely difficult. So, you know, sometimes you have to make 2 suits just to make a single suit, and actually it gets worse than that. If I believe, I check out the, was it the Mark 20? It's the 18. 18 takes both the Mark 17 and the Mark 16 to be able to craft it. It's one of the reasons we have so many extras of the other suit types. I had to make the other one so we were actually able to even craft the extra suit, or the future suit. So, could you imagine if I was trying to craft all of these without the materials and I was collecting them as I go. So that would take forever. And on top of the fact, I would have to make 3 suits for some of them just to be viable, which is absolutely insane to have to craft 3 separate suits just to craft a single suit. But I guess that's the idea. It's difficult, it's tedious, and each suit, you know, they have their own purpose, their own strength, their own weaknesses, their own reason for having a separate suit like that instead of just being in the other suit. Because, you know, you can't design one suit with every single type of weakness protection. Otherwise, you're just gonna overload the suit realistically with too much, and it wouldn't cooperate very well, I would assume. Iron Man silver plates, there we go. I just wish it would autofill because it's hard to tell what some of the materials are. But we're finishing up the Mark 14 boots, giving us our 3rd suit. A little boring for us to sit here and craft them, but I want to get through them all so we can do all the fun testing and explosions at the end, so that way we can really see which suits are the best, and I can go over which capabilities. So if a suit is just a boring version of the Mark 11 that's stronger, and that's literally it, it's just a stronger version of the last, there's no new abilities or special tricks or anything with it, I don't want to go over it and waste our time. But now we can start working on the Mark 15, which actually takes white glass instead of white stained glass, so just regular pane glass, which I find very interesting. This one also needs a bronze block, which is weird. I understood the bronze on the other one, right? The Mark 12 looked brown, but I mean, whatever. Who am I to question it? So this is classified as sneaky. The other ones don't have classifications in it. That's weird. Like this one's codename Heartbreaker. Nightclub, that's really weird. Armored Adventures for the regular stealth suit. Long distance suit. High velocity. So yeah, each of them have their own purpose. Oh, and the Mark 15 is the first one, which makes sense. It's labeled as sneaky. That needs the actual invisible potions. I was like, oh yeah, we need a couple invisibility potions for these suits. Not a big deal. And then I realized how many I end up actually having to make, and it was insane. At that one point, I stopped counting the invisibility potions, and I just made so many, there was no way I didn't have enough. And I'm out of repulsors. Maybe I didn't go overboard on repulsors. I might have to craft more. I thought 2 rows in there would be enough. I don't think it will be. But that gives us our good old Mark 15 chest plate. So what else do you need? I don't get the bronze. I really don't, because it does, I guess you can see it in there, but I don't understand the purpose of the bronze. I'm trying to remember what good is it. Good for electricity? Oh, that's the Mark 6 suits. I thought I had everything for the Mark 15 suit. Do not accidentally craft that. We do not need a Mark 6 pair of boots for absolutely anything. These later suits just get darker and darker and darker all the way up until you get to the Mark 17. Well, you guys kind of get the gist, and you know what we're going to be doing, so I think we activate a little bit of a speed up so you don't have to sit through all this boringness for too long. So let's get into it. Well, Rockstars, if you're enjoying our crafting session of crafting every single Iron Man suit that's left in this entire superhero mod, make sure to go ahead and hit that like, comment, subscribe down below, all of that good stuff. It lets me know not only that you guys are enjoying the channel, the content that we put up, but you want to see more coming around. So we did have a lot of extra materials actually at the end of crafting this. I ended up prepping too many for all of the Iron Man suits, but at the same time, it was kind of necessary. You guys probably don't realize that. I think it's going to come out to a 25, 30-ish minute video. I had probably 40 minutes of recording alone just from crafting these suits. This is a 6.5 times speed up for you guys. It's kind of insane, but we are going to craft every single suit but the last, was it 2 or 3, I do believe, in this speed up. And that means we'll craft the, was it 18, 19, 20 in the stealth suit, or the 20 in the stealth suit alone at the end. Now, there were some disappointing things with the last 4 suits, but I don't want to go over that too much because we're about to do that again, so I can handle past Carson for that. But sadly, it was weird that they just didn't give a description on the website for Mark 17 through 20, so we don't really know their capabilities. Well, Rockstars, we are almost done finishing the Iron Man suits. So we have all the way up to the Mark 19, and that leaves 2 suits left to craft. We also have an extra Mark 16 because I made one too many. We need the Mark 16 to make the 17, and we had to make 2 17s to make the 18, so I accidentally just making an extra 16 because I miscounted. But I figured we make the last 2 suits together. We should have everything for them, and then we can go over and test out the coolest suits that there are. So the Mark 20 is the last of the marks in this line. The only suit besides this is the stealth suit, so this is definitely going to be interesting. So we need the Mark 7 suit, and yeah, I was right in the fact that I made too many shell armors and too many Mark 11s, so I put in way too much extra work. In all fairness, I did have to craft some more repulsors at one point. Getting all the supplies and even making the armors isn't difficult at all. It's just just time consuming and tedious in reality. Once we understand it, it's just a very particular way to get through it all. So I believe every single suit besides like one has used white stained glass for some reason. And yep, there we go. The Mark 20. So this is the long distance suit, or known as the Python suit, because each suit does have its thing. This one's for high velocity. This is artillery and stealth versus just stealth or just artillery. And the other ones are just kind of regular suits. I would assume a regular suit is basically just better versions of the everyday suits, while each suit otherwise has a very specific purpose. So they're built for a specific use or reason, which would make sense overall. And we saw a lot of that in Tony Stark in Iron Man 3. So now we just got to get these leggings. I don't understand why the Mark 7 is in use to make the Mark 20, but I would guess that's a lot more lore knowledge for the actual comics and stuff that would make sense. Otherwise, it probably is just a choice of the crafting recipe for the mod. I mean, there are lots of different crafting recipes they have to come up with for this. Oh, and I out of thrusters or repulsors again. But I think one of the biggest reasons is they have the different workbenches. We talked about this, I think, was it in the last episode when we actually got JEI to work with this stuff? One of the big reasons that there are all the different workbenches is because the similar crafting recipe. So that way it prevents them from overlapping. I think we were crafting either Deadpool or Wolverine, and we were doing the Batman family, and we accidentally got Star-Lord boots, which I believe I have. Yeah, right here, Star-Lord's boots. So we got those accidentally because they're the same crafting recipe as I believe one of the Nightwing costumes, but because Nightwing's supposed to be done in the Bat computer, it registers as Star-Lord's because they're the same recipe. So that's kind of the difference between them. So there's our 20 suit, or Mark 20 I mean, and that leaves just the stealth suit left to be required. And we actually do need Iron Man shell armor. Yeah, we only needed that shell armor for like the first 2, maybe 3 suits. I thought we were gonna need it for basically every specialized suit that had a specific need. So a stealth artillery. I thought those were all gonna be different. Okay, so there's more invisibility potions. I thought I made too many, and I did, but there were 4 rows of these invisibility potions. We went through a lot of them. We need red stained glass, and I actually don't have that. It's not a big deal to craft red stained glass at all. Is it this way? Nope, it's the other way. I always forget which way you surround the glass or the dye with each other. So there we go. 8 red stained glass, and just make some panes out of that. 3 Stark Tech, 2 black iron, our red stained glass that we made, and the shell helmet, giving us the stealth suit. I'm actually excited to check this one out, because this is the official stealth suit. Like, the other ones are stealth inspired. Oh, I put away my black iron plates. I need those. But if this one's purely built for stealth, I wonder if it's got any special uppy upgrades on it compared to the other suits that are technically stealth mode, or if it's just stronger. Because I mean, this one is a shell. It's made from scratch versus it being a base layer from another suit, so it's not exactly the same. I am once again out of repulsors. Holy crap. The only thing I didn't make too much of was repulsors. That's so insane. Alright, so it's actually not too hard to build these though, so let's just build a couple more repulsors. There we go. And why did I make 15 more? This is literally the last suit. Sometimes I just don't think. But back to building the Iron Man stealth suit. There we go. 2 Stark Electronics, and we have the entire armor collection for Iron Man. We are officially done. Okay, I'm gonna read up, figure out which one of these are gonna be the coolest ones to test, biggest explosions and whatnot, as well as clean up my inventory because it's a mess. Alright, Rockstars, after some reading, it seems that all the suits basically have the exact same abilities, and the Mark 18, 19, and 20 don't have abilities listed. So I'm going to test the 17 through 20 with the same suit of key abilities that they all have, and hopefully that will work out for us. I'm not sure what else to do. Everything just seems to be a stronger version than the last. I thought some of them don't. I mean, some of them, like, I think the 13, it's lava resistant, so you can go into lava with it, but a lot of them are either the stealth suit, so they go invisible, or they just have all the extra firing capabilities. So they all have the machine gun, the unibeam, the regular lasers, and rockets if they're in your inventory, and that's kind of it. Outside of them being specific long distance or stealth suits, I think they're just stronger versions of the next, while 17, 18, 19, and 20, for whatever reason, they don't have abilities listed. Now, I should be able to shoot bullets with them in my inventory. I'm gonna guess it's the 5478 that's it's around the same item numbers or ID numbers as the superhero mods, and it's the only one that's not like these special colored bullets, so I'm gonna assume that's it. So these do seem to have an EMC value for whatever reason, so I'm gonna go ahead and just, I guess, fill the inventory up with them so we can test all the suits. All right, so we get what, speed 4, strength 10 while we're in the suit overall, which isn't bad. One is our unibeam. Oh no. Ooh, those are regular repulsors. Our unibeam is utability 10, so I think if we hold it in, it's not working. Oh yeah, I think I changed it to the down arrow and boom. Alright, so that's what, 30% of our power gone with that. But if I believe suitability 2, if we stand on the ground, it recharges your suit. I always forgot about that before, and I could never figure out how to do it. So you recharge your suit by sitting on the ground and holding suitability 2. I think that goes for all Iron Mans as well. So 3, we should have flares. Yep, flares to block rockets out, but it's literally, I think, a single flare, so you have to spam it each and every single time you need it. So we can shoot rockets with suitability 4. It doesn't list it. I don't see it on the actual listing for the abilities, but it is a thing. So what about 5? It creates a force field? What the? You can't see it unless we're in it. That's really interesting. Alright, so we do have night vision with this suit as well, which is apparently interesting. Anti-cloaking, both of those we either know what they are or we can't test them. 6 should give us hovering abilities. Doesn't seem... Oh, we have to hold it. Oh, that's kind of annoying. But that means I guess we could use 6 and 5 at the same time, even though 5 also kind of holds you in place. 7 is straight up just a laser beam that we get. And 8 is our night vision. So we actually don't have a button to fire the bullets in the Mark 17 suit. Oh, wait, yes, we do. It's weapon X key. So we have to use... Oh, there we go. That makes a little bit more sense now. Well, let's see what a crab will do. What about... Ooh, and a few bullets. There we go. Nice, but we're not doing a lot of damage overall. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. What about... what should we use? How about the unibeam? Boosh. Oh, that sent it flying. It did more damage, but overall pretty cool. And it's got definitely a neat look, this suit to it. I wish my face didn't stick through so we could actually, you know, like see the mask. This one does not turn invisible, but I believe the next few probably will. All right, so time for the Mark 18. Like I said before, these next 3 suits, they don't have abilities listed on there, so I'm not sure exactly what's gonna happen. So let's just go out and try them. 1 is our regular repulsors. That makes sense. Okay, so 3 is our invisibility. So it's regular Minecraft invisibility, which kind of sucks because that means there are just particles on there. But I guess this old of Minecraft, that kind of makes sense. So what about 4? 4 still our rockets. 5, ooh, we still get the force field with suitability 5, which is nice. 6 is still our hover ability. 7 is our laser. 8 is night vision. 9, I don't know what 9 does. Oh, 9's the anti-cloaking device. So without something invisible to turn visible, I don't think that's gonna do anything because I think that's what it does. I mean, that's the only thing I know for anti-cloaking. 6, we still get to shoot our bullets, but I can't hold it. It shoots like a round of like 6 bullets, I guess, at a time. And actually, it's not taking any of the ones from our inventory out at all, unlike the rockets. So do we even need these? A suit, it says you need them, but it doesn't seem like you do need them. But yeah, this right here, as you guys just saw, is why I didn't want to show off every single suit. They all basically have the same abilities. I think we're going to come through 17, 18, and 19, and they're all going to have the same abilities. I'm thinking 20 might be better for stealth, but I'm not sure. They are different speeds. 19's, I think, supposed to be the absolute fastest suit, and we saw that. We got 4 repulsors with the chest plate alone. So overall, that would make sense. But let's go ahead. 6 is, yep, our hover. 1 is indeed our repulsors. 3, so we get flares instead of invisibility, which makes sense as the high velocity suit. The lasers can, oh, they can indeed melt ice, which I guess is a good sign. Not all lasers that we've seen in these mods can do that. And we also have a little machine gun with this guy as well, but he doesn't have a whole lot to him. He is the high velocity suit, the tiger suit. I think he's specifically built for speed. I believe it is the fastest suit and our entire armor collection for Iron Man, so that would make sense. He also took the most rockets, I mean repulsors, to actually build him in the first place, so he should be the fastest. All right, so the Grand Tour, the Mark 20 suit, it might be faster. All it says in the description is it's the newest suit. It's labeled as has a Python suit long distance. So I think it's not supposed to be as fast as 19, but a lot better for flight capabilities for long distance, obviously. So 1 is obviously still repulsors. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see anything special with this suit. I only have a limited number of abilities that we can turn on and off. But yeah, it has the same. I mean, we got machine guns, rockets, lasers, repulsors. I believe these suits, I think only 1 or 2 of them outside of the early suits aren't capable of going in the water. System malfunction, not fitted for environment. Maybe this one is not fitted for the water. I was pretty sure it was, but then again, this one doesn't have a description. So maybe I'm wrong. But let's get to the real suit, the one that I'm really hoping is actually special in some way and different from the other suits. This is the one I've been hoping to check out, the stealth suit. This is the important one. Alrighty, stealth suit. Let's see. I love the all blue. Oh, wow. Holy crap. The red HUD is insane. I guess that would make sense. Blue would be bright. It wouldn't be as dark. It would be a lot of light in your face in nighttime. Okay, so I'm assuming 3 turns us invisible again. Yep, still regular invisibility. I guess I should have checked how long it lasts. Wait, what? Like 8 seconds? That's all you get for invisibility? 9 seconds, maybe 10 total because I have to open the inventory. That's insane, especially for the suit that's specifically built for stealth. And what is a stealth boost? Like, what does that mean? Does that mean like creepers and stuff won't detect me as easily? I don't think this is going to be as good of an upgrade as I was originally hoping for, which is disappointing. I don't fire rockets. I guess that makes sense. I don't have a cloak or a shield. I don't have lasers. Yeah, actually, this was supposed to be the best suit of them all is what I was hoping. It's the worst suit. It's purely stealth. I get the fact you don't want to draw attention to yourself, but why wouldn't you still put the laser stuff in there, right? The only reason I can think of realistically and for comic book lore is that because it's an extra stealthy suit compared to all the other invisibility suits, it takes a lot more power hardware, and that prevents him from putting the power regulators or anything to do with lasers in that. So we're basically just repulsor, which is insane. I guess the whole idea of the Iron Man suits is that they're just, they are the same thing. They're just getting upgraded and upgraded versions of themselves. And in all fairness, in technical comic book lore, Mark 20 is very, very, very new. I think he gets up to like at least a Mark 100 or something. But now I've got to move all my suits and make space for the Iron Man suits. Alrighty, we have enough space for all the Iron Man suits, and we can officially start moving them down. Luckily, I've kind of got a system for moving a lot of superhero suits or just armor sets in general to put them on the armor stands. I've done this whole Hall of Achievement things a couple times now. I just really enjoy collecting. I don't know why. I love it. Maybe it's my ADHD. That's one of my favorite parts of Crazy Craft is getting all the superhero suits, lining them up, really sick looking like. It just feels good to have the collection grow, and it's basically kind of complete. There's a few superheroes left, and then we still have the Royal Guardian armor, but for the most part, we've gotten the Bat family and Iron Man out of the way. They're the biggest contenders of dealing with all of this. And there we go. Every single Iron Man suit from Shell to Mark 1 all the way to Mark 20 and the stealth suit are now in our collection. That is so cool. I love seeing the different looks of each suit right after another. Yeah, and there was no way that we were gonna fit both Batman and Iron Man in this single row of suits. We only have like 7 spots left. But overall, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below, Rockstars. And I'll see you all next time. Peace, peace.